The black waitress had poured years, oh, how many endless years, into working double shifts at that little hole-in-the-wall diner, scraping by on pennies, barely enough to keep the lights on. Can you imagine the exhaustion? The bone-deep weariness that clings like damp clothes. Yet, somehow, she never let it snuff out her kindness, that glowing ember she carried inside. So when she spotted a frail boy in a wheelchair, shivering under the relentless downpour outside, did she hesitate? Not for a heartbeat. She rushed out, brought him inside, fed him warm food, and wrapped him in the kind of safety that makes you feel human again. Little did she know, across the street, a billionaire was watching every single move. And get this, that billionaire. He was the boy's father. Her simple, beautiful act of kindness was about to fling open doors she'd never even dreamed of stepping through. The rain didn't just fall that night, it hammered down in sheets, pounding Lexington Avenue like it was trying to drown the whole city. The cracked sidewalk turned into a slippery, treacherous mess, and the streetlights? Flickering like they were on their last breath, barely casting a glow over the tired, worn-down buildings huddled along the street. It was late, way past 11, can you believe it, and the diner should have been locked up tight. But Serena Carter? She wasn't the type to shut the door on someone in need. Never had been. Not when they were hurting, not when the world had already stomped them flat. She was wiping down the counter, her chestnut brown skin glistening with sweat after a brutal 12-hour shift, 12 hours, folks, when she caught sight of him. A small figure outside, hunched in a battered wheelchair, his dark hair plastered to his forehead like a wet mop, a tattered coat doing nothing, absolutely nothing, to keep out the cold. He sat just past the neon Lexington Diner sign, clutching a frayed blanket that looked more like a sad rag than any kind of shield against the biting chill. Serena frowned, oh, how her heart twisted, and tossed her rag aside. She shoved the diner door open, shivering as the icy wind slapped her face. Hey, sweetie, she called, her voice soft as a lullaby, crouching beside him. What are you doing out here all alone? In this mess? The boy flinched at first, poor thing, then lifted his head, his blue eyes wide and searching, like he wasn't sure if he could trust the world anymore. I'm waiting for my dad, he mumbled, so quiet the rain almost swallowed it up. Serena scanned the street, nothing. Just the faint flicker of a pawn shop's cash for gold sign across the road and the hiss of tires on wet asphalt. Where is he? She asked, her voice tightening with worry. Where could a father be on a night like this? The boy just shrugged, pulling that useless blanket closer. Serena let out a breath, biting her lip. Oh, how many times had she seen this? Too many nights, too many kids left waiting for someone who never showed. Well, you can't stay out here, not in this disaster, she said, flashing a warm smile that could melt ice. Come inside with me, okay? It's warm, and I've got something special for you, how's that sound? The boy hesitated, only for a second, mind you, but then, slowly, he nodded. Serena grabbed the wheelchair's handles with a gentle touch and wheeled him inside. The diner's warmth hit them like a hug, the smell of buttered toast and burnt coffee swirling around them like a cozy blanket on an awful night. She parked him by the radiator, smart move, right, and draped a fresh towel over his bony shoulders before crouching down to meet those uncertain blue eyes. I'm Serena, she said, grinning like she'd just found a new friend. What's your name, sweetheart? The boy sniffed, his fingers curling tight around the blanket's edge. Daniel, he said, soft as a whisper. Serena nodded, her approval shining through. That's a strong name. You hungry, Daniel? He nodded, hesitant, like he wasn't sure he deserved it. But Serena? She didn't wait for permission. She was already darting to the kitchen, pulling out a fresh loaf of sourdough, oh, that smell, and slicing it with the ease of someone who'd done it 1,000 times. Minutes later, she slid a steaming plate in front of him, grilled cheese, golden and crisp, paired with a bowl of tomato soup, her go-to comfort meal. The one her grandmother used to whip up when the night stretched too long and the world turned cruel. This one's on me, she said, tucking a napkin into his lap like a doting mom. Daniel's eyes, those big blue beauties, widened as he took his first bite, the cheese stretching in gooey strings that made your mouth water just watching. This is the best thing I've ever had, he murmured, his voice trembling with awe. Serena chuckled, leaning back to watch him devour it. Good food makes everything better, doesn't it? She said lightly, but inside? Oh, inside, her heart ached. That familiar pang hit her hard, the one that came when she saw someone so young, so tiny, already lugging the world's weight on his shoulders. But here's the kicker, she had no idea someone was watching. Across the street, a sleek black Bentley crouched in the shadows, its tinted windows bouncing back the diner's neon glow. Inside sat Raymond Holt, silent as a statue, his sharp gray eyes glued to the scene. At 46, Raymond was a titan, a man who'd built his empire on control, precision, and a ruthlessness that could chill your blood. Holt Dynamics was Baltimore's tech heartbeat, a billion-dollar beast fueled by efficiency, not feelings. And Raymond? Its CEO had spent years, making sure no one, no emotion, no weakness could crack that armor. Yet there he was, staring, listening, thinking, why? Why was this hitting him so hard? Daniel was his son, his boy, and this woman, this black waitress in a cheap apron, working in a rundown diner, was feeding him for free. Raymond's jaw tightened. Can you feel the tension? He'd been stuck on a call, some crisis with his investors in Japan, and told Daniel to wait by the diner for just a few minutes. A few minutes. He hadn't expected this, hadn't expected her. He snatched his phone, dialing fast. Nora, he barked when his assistant picked up. Get to Lexington Diner, now. No suits, no heels. Be there in 20 minutes. A pause crackled on the line. Sir. Nora's voice wavered. Raymond's grip on the phone tightened. Oh, he meant business. Find out everything you can about the woman who just fed my son. Then he hung up, sharp as a guillotine. Back in the diner, Daniel was laughing, for the first time all night, swinging his legs under the table, soup stains dotting his chin like little badges of joy. Serena wiped them away with a napkin, shaking her head. Messy eater, huh? Look at you. Across the street, Raymond watched, his face a mask, but his mind? Oh, it was spinning, calculating. He didn't believe in kindness, no sir, he believed in debts. And whether she knew it or not, Serena Carter had just roped him into one. Serena wiped her hands on her apron, peering out the diner window as the rain kept pounding, streaking the glass in jagged trails. Daniel polished off his sandwich, his fingers warm now, no more trembling. His face had shed that weary tightness, that guarded look no kid his age should ever have to wear. Serena felt it, a small, glowing swell of satisfaction. One more person helped, one more moment of kindness dished out, wasn't that enough? Then, bam, the door swung open. Cold air blasted in, followed by a woman in jeans and a hoodie, blonde hair stuffed under a faded Orioles cap. She didn't fit, not one bit. Not because of her clothes, but the way she moved, sharp, calculated, sizing up everything in a flash. Serena knew her type. Oh, she'd been in this game too long not to. This wasn't someone here for coffee. The woman's eyes locked on Daniel instantly, and she softened her face, crouching beside him. Hey, champ, time to go, she said, her tone light but off, too smooth, too practiced, like a script. Daniel frowned, wiping his mouth with Serena's napkin. But I haven't finished my milk. The woman, Nora, though Serena didn't know it yet, tilted her head, flashing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. You can take it with you. Your ride's waiting. Serena's gut flared, danger. She'd seen too many folks brushed aside, erased, hustled off like they didn't matter. And her? She wasn't supposed to ask questions, right? But oh, she always did. She folded her arms, eyeing the woman hard. You know him? The woman's smile held, but her shoulders tightened, just a twitch, a flicker of hesitation. Yeah, she said, smooth as silk, I'm his aunt. Serena didn't blink, didn't buy it for a second. She turned to Daniel. That true, sweetheart? Daniel paused, too long, oh, too long. Nora's jaw clenched. Serena knew hesitation, knew it like an old friend. She'd grown up where it could mean everything, where fear and power slunk around in silence. This woman? No, aunt. She crouched by Daniel, her voice dropping soft, protective. You good, baby? You want to go with her? Daniel glanced between them, his fingers crushing the napkin, knuckles whitening. She's here for my dad, he mumbled. I guess I have to. Serena froze, her gut screamed no. Push harder, demand more, keep this kid safe. But she'd been here before, hadn't she? A black woman asking too much, drawing the wrong eyes. Still, she couldn't let him go empty-handed. She strode to the counter, snagged a chocolate chip cookie wrapped in wax paper, and pressed it into his hand. For the road, she said. His small fingers curled around it, and, oh, what a sight, he grinned, bright as the sun. Thanks, Serena. You're the best. Serena forced a smile, forced it hard, but her chest tightened like a vice. She watched Nora will Daniel to the door, the air between them thick with unspoken things. Then, just before stepping into the rain, Nora glanced back, no words, just a look. Serena knew it, a warning, loud as a siren. Across the street, the Bentley's headlights flared as Nora approached. The rear door flew open before she could knock, and out stepped Raymond, his broad frame lit by the diner's neon glow, imposing, commanding. The second Daniel was buckled safe in the back, Raymond turned to Nora. Well? Nora exhaled, shoving her hood back. She's sharp, real sharp. Didn't buy the aunt story. Nearly called me out. Raymond's face didn't budge. But she let him go. She didn't have a choice. Nora snapped, pointed. You know how it is, a black woman making a scene. She'd be the one in hot water, not me. Raymond's jaw twitched, did he feel that sting? Nora folded her arms. She's not like the others. Raymond knew, oh, he knew. He'd seen it the instant Serena braved the rain, the way she talked to Daniel like he was gold, not garbage. He'd watched people grovel, scheme, kiss up for his cash, but her. She didn't even know whose kid he was, and she helped anyway. That made her dangerous, wildly, beautifully dangerous. He slid into the car, voice low as thunder. I want everything on her, name, address, background. He buckled up, staring ahead. On my desk by morning. Nora faltered. Sir, by morning. She sighed, then nodded. Understood. The Bentley peeled away, the diner shrinking in the mirror. But Raymond? His mind wasn't on the road, it was on Serena Carter and the debt burning a hole in his chest. Serena trudged home, sneakers squishing from the rain, oh, that miserable chill sinking into her bones. The diner's pitiful tips jingled light in her pocket, barely enough for rent, forget groceries, but Daniel's grin. That stuck with her, warm and bright. Still, something gnawed, clawed, at her insides. That fake smile on the woman's face, Daniel's hesitation, it wasn't right. That wasn't just some random pickup, that was calculated, precise. She climbed the creaky stairs to her one-bedroom on West Fayette Street, heat half dead, walls so thin she could hear her neighbor's TV blaring 2 doors down. She shut the door, leaned against it, rubbing her face, exhausted. She'd learned long ago to mind her own business, hadn't she? But this? This felt off, wrong. Before she could shake it, a knock rattled the door, sharp, insistent. Who could that be at this hour? Serena stiffened, oh, how her whole body locked up tight, because who in the world knocks on your door at this ungodly hour? No one, that's who. She crept to the peephole, heart thudding, and peeked out. Her stomach flipped hard, when she saw him. A man loomed on the other side, tall and broad-shouldered, wrapped in an expensive black coat that screamed money, more money than her entire rent, probably her whole year's worth. His face was sharp, like it had been carved from stone, and those gray eyes. Cold as ice, assessing her like he'd already dissected her soul before she even cracked the door. She didn't open it, not yet. "Who is it?" she demanded, her voice steady despite the tremor in her chest. A pause hung heavy, then a voice cut through, deep, controlled, too controlled, like he owned the air itself. Raymond Holt. That name? It meant zilch to her, nothing at all. "What do you want?" she shot back, her hand gripping the lock like it was her lifeline. Another pause. Why was he making her wait like this, and then, to talk? Serena's gut screamed, "Hell no, don't do it." But curiosity, that sneaky little devil, poked at her. What could this stranger possibly want? Slowly, oh, so slowly, she unlatched the door and eased it open, just enough to see his face clearly. And oh, did he stick out? He didn't belong in this crumbling building, in this rough part of the city, in her small, hard-earned world, not one bit. "I don't know you," she said flatly, her tone daring him to prove her wrong. His expression didn't budge, not a flicker. "No, but you know my son." Serena's pulse skipped right out of rhythm. She studied him now, really studied him, the way his towering presence filled her tiny doorway, the way his coat still glistened with raindrops but his fancy shoes. Spotless, like the storm didn't dare touch him. This was money, power, the kind that could crush people without even trying. Her fingers tightened on the door frame, oh, how they dug in. "Daniel," she said slowly, the name heavy on her tongue. "You're his father." His nod was so slight you'd miss it if you blinked. "I was across the street last night." The chill in her bones sharpened, oh, it stabbed deep. "You were watching?" she asked, her voice tight. "I was." Serena exhaled through her nose. "Can you feel the tension snapping in the air?" "So what, you here to complain that I fed your kid?" she snapped, half expecting some rich guy tantrum. No, Raymond's gaze flickered, unreadable, maddening. "And he said, I'm here because I don't believe in charity, but I do believe in paying debts." Before she could even blink, bam, he pulled an envelope from his coat and set it on her rickety kitchen table, the one that wobbled every time she touched it. Serena didn't move, couldn't move. She glanced at it, oh, that envelope. Thick, expensive, the kind of paper that carried weight, the kind that promised something big inside. She swallowed, hard. "What is that?" "A job offer." Serena's brain stalled, completely froze. She blinked up at him, dumbfounded. "Oh, what?" she blurted, her voice spiking with disbelief. Raymond tilted his head, just a little, like he was sizing up how much patience she deserved. "A job at Holt Dynamics. 6 figures, benefits, the works." Serena let out a sharp, incredulous laugh. "Can you believe this guy? You think I want to work for some rich white man who thinks handing out a check makes us even? Are you serious?" Raymond didn't flinch, not even a twitch. "I don't think you want charity, Serena," he said, calm as ever. "That's why I'm not offering it." Her name in his mouth, oh, how it hit her, tightened something fierce in her chest. She folded her arms, defiance blazing. "You don't even know me." "I know enough," he replied, his voice steady, unshakable, like a man who never begged, only commanded. "I know you gave my son food without expecting anything in return. I know you didn't treat him like an inconvenience. I know that's rare, rarer than you think." Serena swallowed again, oh, how his words punched right through her. They knocked something loose in her ribs, something she didn't want to feel. She stared at the envelope, its ridiculous, heavy presence mocking her from the table. And what exactly would I be doing at Holt Dynamics? Making coffee, she scoffed, dripping with sarcasm. Raymond's mouth twitched. Did she see that right? A glint of amusement flashing across his face before it vanished like smoke. No, he said. You'd be working directly with me, handling negotiations, public relations. You're good with people. I need someone like that, someone real. Serena snorted. Oh, the nerve. You don't need me. You've got a company stuffed with Ivy League grads who'd slit each other's throats for a job like that. Why not them? Raymond's expression shifted, just a hair. That's exactly why I don't trust them. Silence crashed between them, heavy, thick, waiting. Serena felt his offer pressing in, wrapping around her pride, her exhaustion, her fierce refusal to be bought. But 6 figures, 6 figures. Can you imagine? No more late rent notices, no more scraping by paycheck to paycheck, no more sleepless nights wondering how to stretch her last $20. Her mother's voice echoed in her skull. Oh, how it rang. Never owe these people anything, baby. You know they don't give without taking. Her jaw clenched tight. Why me? She demanded, her voice raw. Raymond held her gaze, locked it in. And for the first time, something flickered in those cold gray eyes. Because you saw my son, he said, his voice dropping low, like it cost him to let it out. Not my money, not my name. You saw him. Serena's throat tightened. Oh, it squeezed so hard she could barely breathe. She glanced at the envelope one last time, then, slow as a heartbeat, she picked it up. I'll think about it, she murmured, barely above a whisper. Raymond studied her. Oh, how he stared, then gave a curt nod. Good. And just like that, poof, he turned and left, leaving the air heavy behind him. Serena stood there forever. It felt like, long after the door clicked shut, the envelope's weight in her hands heavier than a brick. Because deep down, oh, she knew it, she wasn't just thinking about it. She was going to say yes. The first day at Holt Dynamics. Oh, it was like stepping into a whole other universe. Everything gleamed too bright, blinding, almost, and the place smelled like money, like freshly polished marble and ambition thick enough to choke on. Serena strode into that towering glass building, can you picture it, in a department store blazer and thrifted heels, feeling every single pair of eyes snap to her the second she crossed the lobby. And this wasn't friendly curiosity, no way. It was evaluation, calculation, judgment, like they were sizing up whether she belonged. She kept her head high, damn right she did, shoulders squared, because she'd worked in places where people underestimated her before. Oh, she knew how to stand tall. Raymond waited in his office. Oh, what a space, sprawling and sleek, with floor-to-ceiling windows showing off the city like a king's view. His desk. So pristine it looked like art, not something anyone actually used. He didn't even look up when she walked in, just waved at the chair across from him like she was late to some royal summons. You're late, he said, voice clipped. Serena arched a brow. Really, and Saturday, by 2 minutes. Raymond finally lifted his eyes, those sharp gray daggers. That's 2 minutes I don't get back. Serena exhaled. Oh, the nerve of this man, shaking her head. She'd been there 5 seconds, 5, and he was already at it. Look, you want me here or not, she fired back, not backing down. He leaned back, studying her, always studying. That remains to be seen, he said, cool as ice. Before she could snap something clever, the glass door swung open, bam, and Nora marched in, tablet in hand, her face a blank slate. Serena caught it. Oh, she didn't miss a thing, the way Nora's gaze slid over her, like she was deciding if Serena even deserved to breathe this fancy air. Spoiler alert, Nora had already made up her mind. Nope. Miss Carter, Nora said, smooth as silk, welcome to Holt Dynamics. Serena met her stare, head on, a slow smile curling her lips. Oh, we're doing last names now. All right. Good to see you again, Ms. Winters. Something flickered in Nora's eyes, just a split second, before she turned to Raymond. I've prepared the reports for the upcoming negotiations with the Orion Group, she said, handing him the tablet like Serena was invisible. Would you like me to brief her on company protocols? Raymond didn't even glance up, rude much. No. I will. Serena wasn't sure, was that good or a warning shot? Nora just nodded, but as she headed out, she paused, oh, so subtle, glancing back at Serena. Good luck, she murmured. Serena tilted her head, excuse me, because that didn't sound like a cheer. It sounded like a dare. She barely had time to chew on it before Raymond dove in, no chit-chat, no warm-up. He yanked a file from his desk and slid it across, wham. Orion Group, he said, voice flat. They want to push through a contract that'll cut labor costs by outsourcing jobs overseas. That means layoffs, thousands. Serena skimmed the file, oh, her stomach twisted, and looked up. And you want me to what? Convince them not to. Raymond's gaze didn't flinch, steady as steel. I want you to do what you do best, read people. Serena leaned back, crossing her arms, hold up. So let me get this straight. You brought me in because you think I can, what, charm my way into making these billionaires grow a conscience. Is that it? Raymond didn't blink, not once. No. I brought you in because I think you understand something they don't. Serena narrowed her eyes, oh, now she was curious. And what's that? He leaned forward, just a bit, and said, that people who have nothing to lose fight the hardest. Those words, oh, they slammed into her. Hitting deep in her ribs, stirring something raw and true. She stared at him, locked eyes, then exhaled, shaking her head. You know, you talk in riddles a lot for someone running a tech empire, ever notice that? For the first time, finally, the corner of his mouth twitched, almost a smile, but not quite. Then, poof, it was gone. Meetings at noon, he said, standing like a general. Try not to be late. Serena rolled her eyes, oh, please, but didn't argue. She had a job to do, damn right she did. The conference room? Colder than a freezer, all steel and glass, built to make you squirm. Serena sat beside Raymond at the long mahogany table, facing three men in tailored suits, oh, the swagger, each one oozing confidence, like they could buy and sell lives with a flick of a pen. The leader, Philip Langford, 60, white hair slicked back like he was born arrogant, barely glanced at her. Serena knew his type, oh, she'd met them a million times, the ones who only saw worth in people who mirrored them. She didn't flinch, didn't even blink. Raymond kicked things off, straight to the point. You want to move production to Taiwan. You say it'll save costs, increase efficiency. He paused, dramatic, right? I say it'll destroy a workforce that's built this company's backbone for over a decade. Langford smirked, oh, that slow, thin-lipped grin, not even reaching his eyes. You misunderstand, Raymond. It's not personal. It's just business. Serena's fingers curled UND equals or the table, oh, how they clenched. Not personal. She'd heard that garbage too many times, when her landlord jacked rent overnight for some revitalization scam, when her mom lost her textile job to overseas cheap labor, when companies like this gutted communities and called it strategy. She smiled, oh, but it was sharp. Funny, she said, tilting her head, because it's always just business until it's your job on the line, ain't that right? Langford's eyes snapped to her, finally, and Raymond? He didn't interrupt, just watched. Langford huffed through his nose, like she was beneath him. And you are? Serena didn't blink, didn't waver. Serena Carter, Holt Dynamics. He gave her a once-over, oh, she felt the dismissal, but she didn't care. She'd been underestimated before, plenty. Langford leaned back, waving a lazy hand. Look, sweetheart, I get it. You think we're the villains here, but this is about numbers. It's about what makes sense. Sweetheart. Serena's jaw locked. Oh, he did not. She leaned forward, matching him. All right, she said, cool as a blade, let's talk numbers. She slid a document across the table, bam. This is what happens when you offshore production. Sure, you cut costs at first, but in 3 years, labor demand spike, your new hub gets pricey, and you're drowning in millions restructuring, rehiring, and dodging PR nightmares when headlines scream, American workers betrayed for profit. She tapped the paper, hard. That's not a guess, that's market analysis. Langford glanced at the file. Oh, how casually he flicked his eyes over it, but didn't even bother to touch it, like it wasn't worth his precious time. Serena held his gaze, didn't blink, didn't flinch, not for a second. You can make the smart choice now, she said, her voice calm but deadly. Oh, it cut like a knife, or you can explain to your investors why your short-term gains just cost them their long-term returns. Your call. Silence dropped like a bomb. Can you feel it? And then, finally, Langford exhaled, a slow huff of defeat. He picked up the paper, actually picked it up, and scanned it, his white brows knitting together. Raymond didn't smile. No, not him, but Serena. She felt the air shift, the room tilt. She'd just flipped the whole game. Oh, yes she had. Langford set the document down, his face a mask, unreadable as ever, and muttered, we'll revisit the proposal. Raymond nodded, crisp, commanding. See that you do. The meeting wrapped up fast after that, and as Langford and his cronies slunk out, tails between their legs, Serena felt Raymond's gaze settle on her, heavy and piercing. She turned to him, well, and he studied her, those gray eyes boring into her soul for a long, tense moment. I knew I hired you for a reason, he said, voice low but sure. Serena smirked. Oh, that spark of triumph. Damn right you did. And for the first time since she'd strutted into Holt Dynamics, can you believe it, she felt like she truly belonged. 2 months in, 2 whirlwind months, and Serena had found her groove at Holt Dynamics, or so she thought. She'd learned to dance through those slick halls of power. Oh, what a maze, to plant her feet firm in a world that barely gave her a nod. She'd stared down Philip Langford, that smug old shark, and walked away with her head high, victorious. She'd shown Raymond, and herself, oh yes herself, that she wasn't some token hire, some corporate charity case. She was here because she belonged, damn straight. But oh, how fleeting those winds are at the top. Because now. Trouble was brewing, big, ugly trouble. The company was shaking, and Serena. She was caught right in the storm's eye. Someone had set her up to crash and burn. She'd just dragged herself back from a client meeting, exhausted, mind you, when Nora ambushed her in the hallway. We have a problem. Nora snapped, her tone sharp as a whip, urgent, piercing. Serena frowned. Oh, what now? Define problem, give me something. Nora didn't answer, just shoved a printed email into Serena's hands. Bam. Serena's stomach plummeted. Oh, it sank like a stone, the second she glimpsed the contents. A company report, classified financial data, top secret stuff, leaked to the press, and guess whose name was slapped on the email forwarding it? Hers, Serena Carter's. The words blurred, her vision swam, and the air thickened, turned dense and suffocating. She forced a breath, forced it hard. This isn't mine, she choked out. I know, Nora said, steady but grim, but someone wants it to be. Someone's playing dirty. Serena's pulse roared in her ears. Can you hear it thumping? Because she'd been here before. Oh yes she had. She knew how fast these traps spiraled out of control. A black woman in a white-hot power space. No benefit of the doubt for her, no sir. Innocent until proven guilty. Ha! She was guilty the moment they pointed the finger, bam, and that was that. She gripped the paper, oh, how her fingers shook, scanning it again, desperate for a clue. Who else has seen this? She demanded, voice tight. Raymond, Nora said, and the board. Serena's breath hitched, oh, no, the board. She'd clawed her way into this company, tooth and nail, and now they were ready to yank her out, rip her apart. Raymond's office felt colder than ever, frigid, biting, or maybe it was just the way he stared at her, hands clasped on his desk like a judge about to drop the gavel. His face. Unreadable, always unreadable, but those sharp gray eyes. They weighed her, measured her, stripped her bare. Serena's chest clenched, oh, it squeezed tight. Tell me I wasn't wrong, he said, low and controlled, too controlled. She slammed the email onto his desk, whack, this isn't me, Raymond. He didn't even glance at the paper, didn't need to. I want to believe that, he said, voice steady as stone, but this is a serious leak, Serena, millions in exposure, stock drops, investigations. Do you get how bad this is, how deep we're in? Serena leaned forward, oh, she got in his face, hands planted on his desk, fire blazing in her gut. I understand perfectly, perfectly. And I also understand whoever did this. They knew exactly what they were doing. I was the easy target, right? The outsider, the black woman with too much confidence, too much nerve. Who's gonna believe me over some slick executive who's been here 10 years, huh? Who? Raymond didn't flinch, didn't budge, but he didn't argue either. The silence stretched, oh, it dragged on forever, and Serena's nails dug into her palms, sharp, stinging. Do you think I did this? She spat, daring him to say it. Raymond held her gaze, locked it tight. No, he said, firm and final. The breath she'd been choking on rushed out, sweet relief, but then he dropped the hammer. The board does. Serena swore, cursed low and fierce, and started pacing, back and forth, back and forth. She could feel the noose tightening, closing in fast. So what happens now? She demanded, forcing the words through gritted teeth. Raymond exhaled, rubbing his jaw, weary, and said, we find the real leak. Serena froze, did she hear that right? We. Not you, not me, we, he said, and for the first time since she'd stormed in, the ice in her chest cracked, split wide open. Raymond stood, tall and resolute, slipping his suit jacket back on like armor. Nora's already tracing the email source, he said, but it's routed through an external server, sneaky, huh? Someone covered their tracks well, too well. He met her eyes, steady, fierce. We'll have to be smarter, sharper. Serena crossed her arms, oh, she wasn't backing down, and leveled him with a look. And what if we don't find them in time? What if the board decides to cut me loose, toss me out like trash? Raymond's jaw tightened, oh, you could see the steel in him. Then we make them regret it, every last one. Serena studied him, really looked, and Raymond Holt. He wasn't a man who threw promises around lightly. But oh, she believed him deep in her bones. And whoever had framed her. They were about to learn what kind of fight they'd unleashed, oh yes they were. The truth unraveled fast, faster than anyone expected. Serena and Nora burned the midnight oil, oh, what a night, digging through server logs, chasing digital crumbs like bloodhounds. Whoever had set her up. They'd been careful, crafty, but not careful enough, not against her. The leak traced back to a secondary account, sneaky, slimy, tied to Eric Calloway, a senior exec with 10 years at Holt Dynamics and a reputation for keeping his hands pristine while others mucked through his dirt. By morning, oh, that glorious dawn, they had evidence, hard, cold proof, enough to bury him 6 feet under. Serena didn't wait, she stormed into the boardroom, boom, before they could drag her in like some criminal on trial. The air was thick, choking with tension, as dozens of polished, powerful men in tailored suits glared at her, their eyes screaming she was already done for. Raymond sat at the head, cool, unreadable, while one board member, an older guy with a thin-lipped smirk, ugh, that smugness, gestured to the empty seat. "Miss Carter," he drawled, "I assume you know why you're here." Serena didn't sit. "Oh, no way." "I do," she said, voice steady as steel, "and I assume you all know you're about to make a very expensive mistake, huge." A flicker of amusement danced across Raymond's face. "Did you catch it?" But he didn't step in. "Miss Carter," the bored guy started, all patronizing, but she cut him off. Snap. "I was an easy target, right?" she said, pacing like a lioness. "The new hire, the outsider, the one you could pin this on and sweep away." She stopped, dramatic, and slapped a thick folder onto the table, wham. "Except you picked the wrong one, oh, you messed up big." She slid it toward them, "Take that," and silence stretched as they skimmed it, their smug faces twitching from dismissal to, "Oh, hello, alarm." Eric Calloway, 2 seats down, went pale, white as a ghost, by the second. "These are traced emails," Serena said, cool and cutting, "bank transfers, call logs with reporters, all linked to Calloway, not me. And before you ask, yes, our legal team's got copies, and so does the press. So if you want damage control, I'd start there, now." A murmur rippled through. Oh, they were rattled, and Calloway shot up, voice shrill, desperate. "This is ridiculous. She's bluffing." Serena spun to Raymond, eyebrow cocked, "Am I?" Raymond's voice sliced through, sharp as glass. "No, she's not." Those words hit like a punch, pow. And Calloway's jaw clamped shut. Raymond stood, calm, lethal, adjusting his cufflinks. "Effective immediately, Eric Calloway is terminated. Full legal action will be pursued." He let that sink in, the weight, then turned to the room. "And if anyone else here thinks they can pull this stunt, let this be your warning." Silence, pure, absolute silence. Serena didn't smile, she didn't need to. She'd won, she'd won big. 2 weeks later, can you believe how fast, she stood beside Raymond at Daniel's graduation. Oh, what a day. The boy beamed up from his wheelchair, clutching his diploma like it was pure gold, his chest puffed out proud. "I told you I'd make it," he crowed. Serena laughed, that warm, bright sound, ruffling his hair. "Never doubted it for a second, never." Raymond watched, his cool shell softening, just a touch. "You did good, Carter," he said, quiet but real. She smirked, "Damn right. Damn right I did." Daniel grinned between them, "Cheeky kid. Are you guys gonna hug or something?" Raymond sighed, "Oh, so dramatic." "Absolutely not." Serena rolled her eyes, "Please. God, no." Daniel just laughed, pure joy. For the first time in forever, how long it had been, Serena felt she'd built something real, something that mattered, something hers. And she wasn't done, not by a long shot. Years later, years of grit and fire, Serena Carter sat in Holt Dynamics' executive office, her name etched on the door, Vice President of Corporate Strategy. What started as a job, a wild challenge, had ignited into a mission, her mission. Under her watch, she led fierce, the company rolled out ethical labor initiatives, mentorship programs, partnerships with minority-owned businesses, lifting up her town. A new community center, Carter Holt Foundation, rose up, pouring education and jobs into underserved kids, her legacy. At its ribbon cutting, the pride, Daniel, now a college freshman, stood beside her, grinning like that rainy night kid who'd scored a free meal. Because kindness, that golden thread, that's the investment that always, always, pays off. Join us, share these stories, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell to kick off your day with lessons and heart, don't miss it. How these stories of Serena Carter sear into my soul. They scream a truth I hold dear: kindness isn't just some soft, fluffy luxury, it's a damn lifeline, a fierce act of defiance in a world that too often shrugs at suffering. I'm moved, gut-punched, really, by how Serena's simple choice to feed a shivering boy rippled into a tidal wave of change. It's a blazing reminder that lifestyle isn't about the grind, the hustle, the endless chase for more, it's about pausing, seeing the person in front of you, and giving a damn. We're drowning in a society obsessed with wealth and status. Look at Raymond Holt's billion-dollar empire, yet it's the waitress, the one scraping by, who shifts the earth beneath their feet. That's power, raw, human power. Socially, I'm furious, yes, furious. At how quick we are to judge, to pin blame on the outsider, the one who doesn't fit the mold. Serena's set up by Eric Calloway. It's a knife in my heart, a glaring spotlight on how race and class still twist justice into a cruel joke. A black woman in a white space doesn't get a fair shake, she's guilty before she can even breathe. But oh, her fight, her unyielding, fire-in-the-belly fight, it's a call to arms. We need to smash these rigged systems, to value grit and heart over privilege and polish. And lifestyle? I'm done with shallow excess, give me purpose, give me connection. Serena's rise to vice president, her community center, it's a blazing beacon. Live simply, lift others, and watch the world shift, that's my creed, born from her story. Kindness pays off, not in dollars, but in lives changed, oh, how it does.